Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Appreciate your support as always. Shout out to the 19. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We've got the WNBA All Star captains to talk about. This is going to be interesting for a couple of reasons. Before we get started, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As you can see here, the captains have been named. We have Team Clark. We have Team Collier. That's right. All those votes from Caitlin Clark fans made Napheesa Collier the #2 vote getter in the WNBA. She will square off against Caitlin Clark, and they will be drafting, which is going to be absolutely wild. And I will get to that in a minute. But as you can see here with the numbers, folks, Caitlin Clark has broken the WNBA record for All-Star votes for the second year in a row. Clark received a record-breaking 1.2 million votes, folks. 1.2 million. What does that mean? Well, let's look at a couple of things here. Now here it says 1.29 million. I mean, I would have rounded up in the other one then to 1.3, but whatever. By the way, here we goes. The reference on the top 30 vote getters for 2023 received 1.17 million All-Star votes combined. That was less. That was less. So let's take a look at that just to give you some perspective. This is the year before Caitlin Clark, and that is what the league will eventually be divided into. It'll be the WNBA before Caitlin Clark and after Caitlin Clark. And as you can see, at the time, the #1 vote getter was A'ja Wilson with, yes, you are reading that correctly. No, the comma is not in the wrong spot. No, they didn't forget a zero at the end. 95,860 votes. Yes, Caitlin Clark, 1.29 million votes. I believe Napheesa Collier was like 1.1 something. A'ja Wilson in 2023, the face of the league, 95,860 votes. This is absolutely wild. Now, before I get into the picking, the interesting aspect of the picking of the all-star teams, which is going to be wild, is let's look at how some people are handling. Let's just have a little fun, lighten it up, right? The delusion on Threads. This is where apparently I have never been on Threads. I will never be on Threads. From my understanding, Threads, like Blue Sky, is much, much, much more of an echo chamber. X just is a cesspool all around the block of all kinds of opinions, but Threads is not like that. So they've all retreated to Threads. Fee better have the blackest team possible for the All-Star game. I'm so serious. A lot of people thought this was bizarre, but here's my question to you. I'll raise my hand and I'll admit it. I'm really not quite getting what this is supposed to mean. Is this in some weird way because of Caitlin Clark and her fans that you can't have black people on Caitlin Clark's team? Like, what would happen? I don't get it. I mean, she has teammates like that on the Fever who are treated extremely well. Because, I mean, really, what would be really wild is if A'ja Wilson got drafted by Caitlin Clark, you would have a arena filled with Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever fans cheering for A'ja Wilson, and I'm not sure that she would be able to process that. But yeah, a lot of people were not happy with this, right? After these people ignore them, block that POS. This is insane. They're so weird. They're all is. That's why they hate Caitlin. Yeah, don't forget, as a reminder, I don't know if I have it logged up on some of these, so I'll let you know. Don't forget, they were calling Napheesa Collier a lot of nasty stuff not all that long ago. But as this one says, my opinion, but I am now convinced that a good amount of original WNBA fans were actually mental hospital patients given permission to watch the league because they were on good behavior. Yeah, so what's he referring to? I'm effing sick to my stomach, and I hate all of you, WNBA, as if the All-Star game wasn't bad enough. I'm begging players not to go there this year, OMG, because Clark and Collier were named. Oh man. This is absolutely wild. I feel like this whole thing was rigged the second it was announced All-Star Weekend was going to be in Indy. A couple more, just a couple more, and then I'll riff on this, and I'm curious what y'all think. So basically, Fee and a DEI pick are the All-Star captains. Stay unserious, WNBA. A DEI pick. Yes, a DEI pick. I'm glad you can read. Well, yes, they can read, but 92 percenter, I don't think you're really making a statement like you think you are, and I would guess that 99% of the people reading this think you're an absolute low IQ doorknob. A DEI pick. See, they're having a hissy fit because Caitlin Clark has missed some games with injury. By the way, so is Napheesa Collier. But again, to the point of that statement back here about the mental patient thing, I think this is the one about the mental patient thing, right? Yeah, is these are truly not sports fans, and I've said this before. They have no idea how sports work. They've never been involved in sports before. They don't have a team or that they root for, or an individual sport like tennis or golf or whatever, someone they root for. But I promise you, Caitlin Clark is not the first athlete in a team sport that has fan voting that was voted into an all-star game despite missing time for injury before. In fact, many have been injured and missed the all-star game, but they were still voted in. So again, it goes back to the whole they have never been fans before. They don't understand what fandom is. It's all about drama and narrative to them. But yeah, and of course, wait, I think I have one more before I get into the some of this other stuff. Here's a whole thread of it. All right, we'll just rip through these real quick because just give me, her being captain should be nulled since her fans were stealing emails to vote for her. The WNBA had no verification, so you could make up emails. The whole idea of like quote unquote stealing, which they weren't really doing, and voting that is had no play whatsoever in Caitlin Clark getting the most votes. That was really just more of a prank to mock these people than it was anything to do with actually needing that to get the votes Caitlin needed to be. I'm sorry. Literally that entire team should be disqualified in All-Star game. And one of the people whose emails were stolen still voted for that girl, despite the literal fraud of those fans, email stealers specifically, votes. CC and Fee are all-star captains. I know y'all going to have me cracking up soon. Only one captain got that based on merit. That's not true. I think Collier's having a good season. Please don't talk to me about the WNBA All-Star captains. I am in mourning, LOL. And before y'all come for me, I really don't care. Clearly you do. Clearly you do care. I'm not upset at CC despite belief. However, it's so disappointing because the All-Star game is a special treat for people who just love basketball and get to watch all their faves have fun in one place. That is one bizarre statement. By the way, none of you just love basketball. That is the whole reason we've been having these problems for the past year plus. We all already know that cult is going to ruin everything, and this just makes it worse. I'm so sad about it. It's only about 3 hours for me, so it's the first All-Star game that I'm able to go to, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to go to another one, and it's going to be ruined by them. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, the reaction to Caitlin Clark being named an All-Star captain, even an all-star, is causing some problems. But I want to make two important points that I think are going to be interesting. So brace for it. I tell you right now, Asia Wilson is having an absolute meltdown. I promise you, even if right now she's being smart enough to do it privately. Think about this, folks. Game is in Indy, right? We all know Asia Wilson doesn't want to go to Indy because she's terrified that things might pop off. Those 9-year-old girls, I'm telling you, absolutely terrifying. On top of that, she's not a captain. Asia Wilson, the face of the league, the best player in the universe, is not a captain. People are not even talking about her being the first pick by either Caitlin Clark or Napheesa Collier. You know that's hurting big time. And then finally, to put the proverbial nail in the coffin for Asia Wilson, the two captains. Now, we all know the things Asia Wilson has said from the moment Caitlin Clark was getting drafted and coming to the WNBA. Asia Wilson's entire existence is wrapped up in victimhood with regard to skin color. And now we have this league, supposed black league, in which the two captains for the All Star game are 75% white. Yes, I did the math. That is correct. They're 75% white. Asia Wilson, I'm worried that she is not going to be able to get through this weekend in terms of her mental health. I hope she has some really good friends not including the alleged child hitter, because she is going to need good people to help her get through this. She is going to need good people to help her get through this. One last thing I will add, and I want to hear your comments on all this. I'm looking forward to it. It's obviously going to give us something to talk about and laugh about. Is I cannot wait for all the think pieces, all the social media meltdowns, all the insane over the top deep dive analysis as to why this and why that over Caitlin Clark's all-star picks. You know, people are going to go through those picks like you would not believe. And it doesn't matter what she does. If she picks AB first, well, why did she pick AB? Well, how could she do that to Asia Wilson? How could she do that to Kelsey Mitchell? If she doesn't pick AB and picks someone on, how could she do that to AB? It is going to be absolutely crazy, and I am here for it. One last thing I'll add, I'll probably do a video on this. I'm not sure if y'all even really care, but what's wild, everything you've seen in the NBA, the WNBA for the past year plus, and they just announced an expansion team in Philly, folks. Yeah, that's right. They want to expose the WNBA to Philly fans. I'm just saying that's going to be wild. Maybe I'll do another video on that in a little more detail, but let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. As always, appreciate you so much. Thank you for checking out and supporting the channel. Smash the like button. Go hit that subscribe. Go have the day you deserve as well, and I will talk to you later.